Welcome back to the Ed Show, and thanks for watching tonight. Republicans pretty much are in disarray after reports that they're backing off their plan to end Medicare as we know it. Today, Eric Cantor's spokesman said that the starting point is the Ryan budget, period. Did you hear that? Starting point, which means that they are prepared to back off? Well, just a couple of weeks of town hall meetings with constituents saying we like our Medicare as it is. One of my favorite polls says it all. 80% of Americans want Medicare and Medicaid left alone. I guess those town halls had an impact. Remember, House Republicans voted yes. They voted yes for the Ryan budget. Then, after catching a little heat from the American people out on the road, they began calling the Ryan budget a starting point. The GOP leadership's position on the Ryan budget has left many Republican lawmakers confused, according to a top Republican aide. The quote is, "It's a big problem," he says. "Things are unraveling." Good. And the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, Republican Dave Camp, will not be moving on the Ryan Medicare plan through his committee. Well, he says, "I'm not ready and really interested in laying down more markers." That's the comment from the House Ways and Means Committee chairman. And House Speaker John Boehner said this: "My interpretation of what Mr. Camp said was a recognition of the political realities that we face." So what does this all mean? Let's bring in Professor Lee Papa, also known as the Rude Pundit. And ironically, on the heels of our last segment, we should point out a graduate of the University of Tennessee. Are House Republicans, feeling the effects of really a butt kicking by the American people? Has this, in a different kind of way, been the Tea Party celebrated by the Democrats, out saving Medicare and Medicaid on the road?
Oh, I think so. I think that one of the things I've loved is the look of panic in the faces of freshman Republicans when they're at their town halls and people start rising up against them and they realize all of a sudden that Boehner and Cantor have screwed them.
You know, the Republicans are so disciplined when it comes to message. How did this unravel?
I think that they misunderestimated. I sound like George W. Bush. They underestimated.
A lot of that going around tonight.
Yes. They underestimated what they were elected for by the Tea Party even. They talk jobs and taxes, and then all of a sudden they come in talking Medicare and Medicaid, and some 50-year-old guy woke up and put away his powdered wig and tri-corner hat and realized this is real.
What does this say to the White House when it comes to negotiating with Republicans that, they will back down? They filibuster just about everything. They did in the last session of Congress. It was a record number of filibusters in the Senate. But does this prove that there is a breaking point, and does this prove that there's some wiggle room in the budget, or what do you expect out of the Republicans?
I think that they're going to play a good publicity game. They have to keep pleasing those Tea Party people, and they have to keep pleasing that conservative punditocracy. But I think that they know that with Republican senators like Lamar Alexander already backing away, with their presidential candidates not signing on to the Ryan budget, that they need to demonstrate that they are willing to compromise. I think that's what people want.
So is it safe to assume that the Republicans have still no health care plan other than to destroy what the last Congress passed?
Well, they've got to keep up with their quota of hurting poor people and the elderly.
Moving forward, what do you think is going to happen with the budget? Where is this going to end up?
Oh, I think it's going to end up in, they're going to try for a stalemate. You hate to think about this in political terms, but certainly Obama's hand has been strengthened with the citizens of the country, considering the events of the last week.
Is Wisconsin, in your opinion, really a microcosm of what's happening across America? We have seen all of these radical Republican governors go after public workers, go after budgets in a manner in which we have never seen before. And now they're seeing things unravel a little bit in Washington. What does that mean? Is there a correlation?
I think there's going to be a retrenchment on the state level. You see the state governments going after Medicaid very strongly right now, and I think that if they're going to lose the battles at the federal level, then they're just going to take it down like every other issue to the states.
Professor Lee Papa, the Rude Pundit. Great to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much. Coming up, we're going back to the wall. Corporate profits going through the roof, and income inequality in the United States is getting worse. We got a story to tell. Stay with us. We're right back.